Cat Mom, and today we are going to be doing a September plan with me. So, working on my bullet journal, getting it together, and having a nice little fun chat. So, whenever you're ready, we'll just go ahead and get right into it.
So for this month's theme, our September bullet journal theme, I posted a poll over on my Instagram asking you all what you wanted to see. And the poll included two options, whether recreating a new spread or creating a new spread for you all to see and kind of pick the design of, or for me to recreate one of my older bullet journal spreads. And you all did decide on me recreating one of my older spreads. And I was actually really excited that you all picked this as my theme for this month because it gave me the opportunity to kind of look back through all of my bullet journals. This is my fourth bullet journal now, so it was really kind of nostalgic to getting to look back at all the themes and all of the journals that I have put into bullet journals since I started creating them 4 years ago. And I decided to go with a spread that I did back in the month of July of this year. It was one of my favorite spreads that obviously incorporated flowers, and I really, really loved that spread. And sadly, I did not record July's theme, so I'll go ahead and put just some pictures here on the side so you all can see what that theme looked like and how I incorporated the flowers for that month. And as you can see, the flowers were incorporated a little different than I did here for the opening page. I decided to go with something a little different and just use the theme idea just because I didn't want to have two of the same spreads in one bullet journal. And I think this really shows how different a spread can be based off what your inspiration is. So that's one of my favorite parts about bullet journaling is you can have inspiration and still make it your own. So for example, I used an inspiration for this S. I found it off Pinterest and fell in love with it, and I just added some of my own things, changed a few details about it just to recreate it to look more me, and I really liked that. And yeah, it just kind of shows that your bullet journal never has to look any specific way. It never has to look like this or look like that. It's really up to you whether you want it to look exactly like your inspiration that you're using or whether you want to put your own little twist on it and make it more simple or more intricate. This is definitely one of my more detailed cover pages. I kind of dial it back a little bit for the rest of the spread just because college has started, so I'm in the middle of it feels like the middle, it's kind of the beginning. We're moving into week 3 now of my senior year, so it's definitely time consuming and I don't have 2 or 3 hours to work on a really intricate bullet journal theme. As much as I would love to sit down for 3 hours and just draw my bullet journal, sadly I do not have the time. So for my quote page, normally I already have it written out, but about halfway through creating my S, I realized that I did not have a quote. So I just started thinking about how August went and what I wanted to change about August. And one thing is that I wasn't really putting myself as a priority. With classes starting, I kind of let my priorities go to my classes and keeping my grades up. And I've noticed that I've been extremely overwhelmed these past 3 weeks. And I know it's just because of how hard this semester is going to be with doing online, kind of dual online in-person style of classes. So I went with a quote that just says, "Make yourself a priority," as a little reminder to myself. And I'm really excited with how it turned out. I was really nervous about doing calligraphy kind of on the camera. Normally I'm just doing it with my pen after I've gone and wrote it in with pencil. But I hope you all enjoyed getting to see how I kind of create my pencil and my pen bullet journals. So moving on to the calendar of this month, I do the same calendar every year or every month. I really enjoy this calendar. They're normally 6x6 squares, and they really allow me to kind of put everything that's going on throughout the month. With being a college student and a full-time yoga instructor / student worker, it definitely, I wouldn't say full-time, I work 20 hours, so technically that's part-time. But sometimes it can feel like full-time between work, teaching, and being a student. It really gives me the space to get to put kind of plans for the month, whether that be when I have an assignment due or when I need to go and teach yoga or when I need to create a meditation if I'm teaching a meditation class. And yeah, I would recommend doing this type of spread of a bigger monthly calendar to anyone who does have a really busy schedule and just really enjoys seeing everything put together in one nice little spread. And yeah, that's my favorite part about it. And since we have a little bit of extra time here on this page, I'll go ahead and talk about the black markers that I'm using. So I am using, for the writing and the outlines, I am using the Sharpie felt tip pen. I absolutely love this pen, and I've been using it since the beginning of me starting my bullet journal. I find that it doesn't bleed through too much or much at all. So if you're looking at the bleeding through, that is actually from the black marker. And the black marker that I am using to kind of color everything in, that is the Crayola Super Tip pen. I got them from Target in a stack of like 100. I think I actually have 150 pens of these, and they do bleed through a little bit, but I personally don't think they bleed through that much to bother me. And I've been using them again since I originally started my bullet journal. They are extremely cheap but reliable pens, and I absolutely love them and would not use anything else for my bullet journal. I know there are a lot of pen options, which can get very overwhelming at times, so I kind of stick with the more simple version just to keep me from being overwhelmed and from keeping me from losing too much money. But so obviously we'll have my logs, so I like to keep track of my expenses just because I think it's really important to just track where your money is going and have an idea of how much money is going for like groceries and stuff like that. And then I also have my sleep tracker, which is my favorite tracker of all time. I think it looks absolutely stunning at the end of the month when it all is filled in and colored in. And yeah, I'll insert a picture of what it looks like finished here now, and tell me that just doesn't look absolutely amazing. I think it does, at least. And then for this spread, we do have my habit tracker. I decided to do a little bit, I decided to go with no flowers on this page just because I'm trying to focus more on the use of this page and less on the style of this page, just because I'm really bad at using my habit tracker, so I'm trying to make it different every month, and this is just what I decided to do this month. And then moving into my weekly spreads, I did decide to go ahead and do kind of a Dutch door system, but normally a Dutch door system would take up a lot of space. It takes up about 4 pages for 1 week. So instead of doing that, I just decided to cut the bottom of each page, and I actually messed up a little bit during this, which is a little frustrating, but it's okay. If I wouldn't have told you all I messed up, you would have had no clue. But so what I'm basically doing is I cut the bottom of the page. I think it's 12 squares tall, and I kind of made it a tiered thing so I can always see what the tier is for. You'll see here in a minute what I'm talking about. So each tier is going to be for one of my classes. So exercise physiology, neuroscience, healthcare technology, and principles of biology. When I started doing this last month, I wasn't 100% a fan of it. But once I filled it in, I started noticing how much I really enjoyed this style of a Dutch door, and it worked out really well, and I'm constantly looking at these Dutch doors, trying to see what is going on, and here I am just filling in the first week of September to show you guys what my weekly spreads are going to look like. Very similar to last month, but I decided to go with 2 boxes for each day, just so I could have 1 box for kind of like what my plan is for that day, and then another box just for what I have to do. So like if I have work to do, if I have a class to teach, or what. Yeah, so this is what all of my weeks will look like. I think I'm going to start posting pictures of each week at the end of the week. So keep an eye out for that over on my Instagram. And go ahead and give my Instagram a follow if you are not already. Of course, that is only if you want to. You never have to. So yeah, so now I'm just going to come in and erase everything. And then we will get into the final flip through. I really hope you all enjoyed this spread. It definitely is less intricate and more focused on the usability of the bullet journal. During the semester, I definitely like to focus more on actually using the bullet journal and less on trying to make it pretty.
So before getting into the final flip through, I did just want to take a moment and thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this plan with me, and I really hope you enjoy what the final flip through looks like. If you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up down below. And while you're down there, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on those bell notifications so you can be notified every time I post. And yeah, enjoy the flip through, and I will see you all next week. Bye!